try it. That was my main concern. I told them we are ready, willing, and able to implement this technology. We did, interestingly enough, we did get a letter, a request actually, from Senator Snowe, and she was very, very interested in what we had to offer as well as what everybody else had to offer in terms of helping the people in the Gulf. Senator Snowe asked us, and this is very interesting, she asked us in a question to be presented in response to the committee's questions, if all of the money that the federal government has spent on the Exxon Valdez spill and the BP oil spill and all the other situations similar to this, if all the money that our government has spent was effectively spent, and my response was no, it was not effectively spent. And the reason why is the money is appropriated and given to think tanks and to universities to come up with ideas on how to remediate these problems. And in all due respect, the universities and the think tanks write these wonderful papers on how to deal with these catastrophes. But that's where it stops. It doesn't go any further than that. Well, what we're saying is, let's get out there, get the money to the practical people, get it to the people that's going to go out there and do something, get it to the companies that are willing to put their name on the line and go out there and take the University of Oklahoma with them, or whoever their scientists are, establish the protocol, have the EPA or anybody else overseeing that and overlooking what they're doing and what the results are.
Well, and so meanwhile, the Gulf is filling with oil, and you're dead in the water under bureaucracy, and you have a solution. You have some way to help, and they won't respond.
Well, yeah. The problem is that there, like I said, there's so many proposals. Everybody's just looking and figuring out what to do, and it's kind of like, well, the house is on fire, and send in the fire trucks, but it's a little too late. I mean, we're way beyond that now. For example, you see people walking around on the beaches picking up these tar balls full of oil and putting them into a plastic bag, and they're going to take them from in the plastic bags and collect them into a centralized area and take them to a landfill. Now, I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, those plastic bags are going to deteriorate over time, and in the next 10 or 15 or 20 years, and you're going to have the same problem that you have right now, except it's going to be 10 or 15 miles down the way at the local landfill.
It's in somebody else's backyard.
Absolutely. It's going to be in somebody else's backyard. That's correct.
But you haven't got rid of it.
No, you haven't gotten rid of it. What we were saying is put our material down an area the size of 4 or 5 football fields. Take those tar balls, don't put them in the plastic bag, put them just out there in our U-Mate, and let the U-Mate biodegrade those tar balls within a period of a year or whatever it takes. But it will biodegrade them naturally.
That's good. So everybody that was speaking in front of the Senate subcommittee was basically trying to point the finger at other people as to why this thing happened, and you were just there with a solution.
Right. Well, the name of the hearing was Turning Ideas into Action. So there was everybody up there at the hearing was mostly PhDs and professional scientists, science type people. There was maybe 2 of us that actually had an idea that would help alleviate the situation. One of them was Kevin Costner, and his solution was in water, was taking and separating the oil from the water out in the ocean. Our solution was inland, on land, on shore, in the marshes.
Well, you both won an award recently.
That's correct. Actually, there was several awards given, but on this particular situation, on Earth Day, there was 2 awards, one for the BP oil spill, one for myself and the other for Kevin Costner at the United Nations.
That's good. That's good. I think we got, unless there's anything you want to add, anecdotes or any kind.
Let's talk about the Japanese spill.
Is that just happening now?
Well, that's the one that happened, you know, this over at the power plant.
Oh, yeah, the nuclear deal.
Yeah. One of the, are we rolling?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, one of the other interesting remediation situations that we have come in contact to help remediate and alleviate is radiation. I associated myself with Dr. Eric Lowen, who is now the president of the American Nuclear Society. Dr. Lowen and I collaborated approximately 12 years ago to remediate radioactive material and radioactive wastewater. When the disaster hit in Japan last year, again, I reached out, contacted Dr. Lowen, and sought his advice on whether we had something viable to offer. Dr. Lowen's response was absolutely, we have something viable to offer. Again, I put forth a proposal and sent it to everybody that I could possibly think of, including the Japanese embassy, the consulates, the regulatory agencies in Japan, and Dr. Lowen has actually been there talking to them about the situation at hand, and we have not heard anything from anybody at this time. Hopefully that at some point we will. We know, there's no doubt in our mind that we have something to offer that can help the Japanese people. But I think it's a matter of, again, bureaucracy, possibly nationalism, and a lot of pride. People don't want to accept help from others if they feel that they should be able to accomplish it themselves. I'm from the old school. Hey, I'm willing to listen to anybody that has something to offer, and we look at what we're doing as a win-win situation, not only for the United States of America, but in mankind in general.
Have you reached out to any of the oil companies or drillers or any other subsidies?
We have reached, sure. We have a customer. We have several customers. One is a company called Land Clean Products, and they're based in Texas, and they use our U-Mate to go out and remediate oil spills. They've been doing it successfully. They're a small company, and we support them wholeheartedly. We have some other companies that are looking at it, and hopefully in 2012 or in the upcoming years that somebody will take it seriously and take it upon themselves. What you run into a lot is everybody stuck doing the same old thing, whether it's, and most of it involves chemical cleanup. This is the way we've been taught to do it. And it's the same thing with the ag farmers. They're used to using chemical fertilizers to grow their products. They don't look down the road to find out, hey, is there an alternative here? And that's what we're offering. And in other words, they got to think outside the box a little bit. And that's what we tell people is try something. Try something different. And don't bet the farm on it. Just try something. Do it on a small scale. And in some places we're successful and some we aren't. But I can tell you one thing, 90% of the product I sell goes out of this country. It goes to large growers, small growers, but they understand soil science. They understand what is contaminating soil. They understand what is good for soil, and they're more concerned about the health of their soil than we are of our soils. And that's just a fact. That's just the way it is, and I hope someday we can change that.
That's good. That's a good one to end on right there, I think. I like that. That's good, man. We got good stuff.